A lot of us grew up hearing, work hard, stay out of trouble, get a job, and you'll be okay. But nobody really broke down how money actually grows. Nobody explained why some families seem to stay ahead, even when they're not working harder. Nobody explained why one family passes down a house, stock portfolio, and business, while another passes down stress, bills, and survival mode. And that's why this conversation matters. Because if all you ever do is work for money, you can stay tired forever. But when you learn how to invest, your money starts working too. That is how the game changes.
The reason investing feels overwhelming is because people teach it like you need to already be rich to understand it. They throw around words like ETFs, Roth IRA, diversification, brokerage accounts, expense ratios. And if you're brand new, it can make you feel like this whole world was built for somebody else. But honestly, the basics are not that complicated. Investing is just using today's money to buy assets that can grow and pay you later. That's it. You are planting money now so it can become freedom later.
Stop treating investing like it comes before stability. And I know that part is not exciting, but it matters. Because if every emergency sends you right back into debt, your investments will never get a fair chance to grow. The CFPB says emergency savings are one of the first steps to protecting yourself from financial shocks, and even a small amount can help you recover faster and stay on track with bigger goals. So before you stress about building a portfolio, ask yourself, do I have a little cash set aside? Do I have high-interest debt draining me every month? Do I have any breathing room at all? Clear high-interest debt, build an emergency fund, and get your foundation strong before trying to force investing. Passive income also works best when your financial base isn't constantly collapsing under you. A lot of beginners think investing is about getting rich fast. It's not. That mindset gets people scammed. It gets people chasing hype. It gets people buying random stocks because somebody on social media said, this one is going to the moon. Real investing is slower than that. Real investing is about buying ownership in things that grow over time. That could be businesses, that could be the stock market through funds, that could be real estate, that could be retirement accounts that hold investments for decades. Time in the market beats timing the market. That means long-term consistency usually matters more than trying to jump in and out at the perfect moment. It also stressed that the market rewards patience, not panic. Start with retirement accounts, not random gambling. If you're a beginner, one of the smartest places to start is usually a retirement account. That might be a 401k if your job offers one. That might be a Roth IRA if you qualify. Why? Because these accounts can give your money tax advantages. And if your job offers a 401k match, that is basically free money you do not want to ignore. Now, let me say something simple. A lot of people hear retirement account and think, that's too far away. I need money now. I get it. But that's exactly why it matters. Wealth is built by people who stop thinking only about next month and start making moves for 10, 20, 30 years from now. But what really matters are tax-advantaged accounts like Roth IRAs and 401ks as the beginner-friendly place to start, especially when there's an employer match involved. Nextly, keep it simple with index funds and ETFs. This is where a lot of people make investing way harder than it needs to be. You do not have to become a stock-picking genius. You do not have to spend your nights reading company reports. You do not have to gamble on whatever stock is trending this week. For most beginners, one of the simplest ways to invest is through index funds or ETFs. Why? Because instead of putting all your money into one company, you're buying a basket of many companies at once. That means more diversification and less danger from one bad pick wrecking your future. Broad index funds and S&P 500 style investing are one of the easiest and strongest approaches for beginners because they spread risk and make long-term investing easier to stick with.
And this matters even more in the Black wealth conversation, because Brookings found that stock equity accounted for only a small part of Black wealth growth compared with white households. In plain English, too many Black families are still underexposed to one of the main engines of long-term wealth growth in America.
Next, use dollar cost averaging so you don't overthink everything. One of the best habits for investing is something that sounds fancy but is actually simple: dollar cost averaging. That just means you invest a set amount regularly. Every paycheck, every week, every month. Whether the market is up, down, or acting crazy, you keep showing up. This matters because emotions ruin a lot of portfolios. People get excited when prices are high, they get scared when prices fall, they wait for the perfect time. Then years go by and they still haven't started. Consistency beats hesitation, and small automatic investments done over time can grow into something serious because of compounding.
Don't confuse homeownership with a full investment plan. Now, I want to say something important, especially in our community. Yes, real estate matters. Yes, homeownership matters. Yes, housing has been one of the biggest drivers of Black wealth. But housing is not the whole plan. The Federal Reserve warns that for Black families, a lot of wealth gains have been concentrated in housing, which is valuable but relatively illiquid. In plain terms, your house can make you wealthier on paper while you still feel cash poor in real life. So yes, buy a home if it makes sense, but also build liquid savings. Also invest in the market. Also think about business ownership. Also create multiple ways to grow. That's how you build real resilience.
Learn the difference between income and assets. A lot of people make decent money and still never build wealth. Why? Because income alone is not wealth. If money comes in and goes right back out, you can earn more and still feel broke. Wealth comes from owning assets. Assets are things that can grow in value or put money back into your pocket over time. That can include retirement accounts, index funds, businesses, real estate, even digital income streams if they're built right. Brookings noted that business equity represented a meaningful share of wealth accumulation for Black households. That matters because ownership of businesses can create income, jobs, and long-term value beyond a paycheck.
If you're interested in this, you can watch my last video that goes into more detail.
Next, protect yourself from scams, hype, and get-rich-quick culture. Let me say this with love. If somebody is promising guaranteed returns, easy money, or overnight wealth, that should make you nervous. Not impressed, nervous. Because one reason financial literacy matters is protection. When people don't understand investing, they become easier to manipulate. They get sold dreams instead of strategy. Not understanding money doesn't just keep people stuck, it also makes them vulnerable. So please remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. If you don't understand it, don't rush into it. If the whole pitch is urgency, flexing, and fear of missing out, slow down. Real wealth usually looks boring at first.
To begin investing, start small, but start.
This might be the most important part of the whole video. You do not need thousands of dollars to begin. You do not need to know everything first. You do not need the perfect portfolio before making your first move. What you need is a start. Maybe that start is opening a high-yield savings account, contributing enough to get your 401k match, opening a Roth IRA, buying your first broad index fund, automating $25 or $50 a paycheck. That may not look flashy, but that's how wealth actually begins. Quietly, consistently, without applause.